I personally hope as Trustee Stamborski settles into his new role, every board member considers reflecting on themselves and potentially turning down the temperature during board meetings.
Item 1.4, public comments. Kelly, do we have any public comments tonight?
We do, Chairman. We have 7, actually. The next public commenter is Maureen Broderick, and she would like to speak on the president contract.
You can leave me at the end. At the end. There's others to speak. Go ahead.
Okay.
You're not a member of the public, you're a member of the board, and there's a trustee comments section on the agenda.
We can't speak as a citizen.
I've never seen it done before.
You were elected to have a voice here.
It's up to the board.
Michelle Lee.
Again, the purpose of public comment is for those who do not have the opportunity to speak during the meeting to offer their thoughts on anything that might be on the agenda or about the institution. You have the opportunity to talk during debate on anything that's on the agenda, and you have the opportunity to talk during trustee comments. I don't think it's proper for a trustee to be offering public comments.
That is your opinion. I would personally, who was elected by this board, would feel silenced if I, as a constituent as well, who is also able to vote, was not able to make a public comment. I understand that there are a lot of people that came today to show support for President Namuo. However, I think it would be an injustice to my community if you were not aware of those who are pulling their support from the college due to President Namuo. JJ, this is an email that all trustees received. Dear JJC Board of Trustees and Dr. Namuo, we would like to thank you for prioritizing the college's Grundy expansion project. The time, research, and thought invested in exploring a future Grundy County campus has unified leaders around an exciting vision. The team involved and the data shared has generated excitement not only among the Grundy County Expansion Committee, but the entire community. As JJC continues to examine its future in Morris regarding the Grundy County expansion project, the local members of the community feel it is taking a direction we cannot support. The location at the Route 6 and Ashton Road is under JJC's serious consideration. This site was not on or near the committee's list of recommended locations, and poses limitations that will surely impact the success of the facility. These concerns have been expressed by members of our group individually and as a committee. Despite this, the college is continuing its due diligence at this location. While not entirely, the presented programming seems mostly unresponsive to local workforce needs and duplicative of what JJC already offers. We understand there is more to consider beyond the wants and needs of major employers and stakeholders in Grundy County. However, the training program suggested incorporate little to none of the local data or the committee's express needs for the area. These concerns have also been shared. A robust and relevant JJC campus in Morris continues to be the goal for all involved in the expansion committee. However, we cannot support the most recent plan for programs or proposed locations. Should the college move forward on this path, we ask you to remove our names from the list of partners for the Grundy County expansion project.
Just a bit of clarification. While Trustee Lee will make an argument that the Grundy County Expansion Committee has pulled support from JJC due to this mistake, I was able to find a statement from a member of the committee, Nancy Norton, who is the president-CEO at the Grundy Economic Development Council. She seems to imply that while there was a mistake that took place, the expansion committee still seems pretty passionate about pairing with JJC. I will continue to place this picture of the quote as a reminder when the argument is used to keep in mind the thoughts of Nancy Norton.
Signed sincerely, the local members of the Grundy County Expansion Committee, Chris Brown, Mayor of City of Morris, Lance Copes, Grundy Area Vocational Center, Thomas Dome, Morris Hospital and Healthcare Centers, Sharon Johnson, Constellation, Mary Kuzak, Grundy County, Nancy Norton, Grundy Economic Development Council, Christine Van Yarpen, Grundy County Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and Julie Wilkinson, City of Morris. One of the most important qualities of good leader is the ability to listen and make decisions that are in the best interest of everyone involved. JJC recently announced its westward expansion in partnership with Morris and Grundy County. The City of Morris and Grundy County were initially excited to put into action a plan that started with former President Dr. Judy Mitchell. She had built all the relationships and laid the groundwork with the help of a grant from Senator Sue Resin for the City of Morris to be
At
the
this time, the
expansion
public comment time
of
is
the hangar.
expired.
A whole city and a whole county has pulled out support. I
Time is expired.
understand that there may be some division on the board, but there is
Trustee
good
Lee, your
reason
time
for
is
it.
up.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
There are no other public comments.
I believe one of the most important qualities of a good leader is their ability to listen and make decisions that are in the best interest of everyone involved. JJC recently announced its westward expansion project in partnership with the City of Morris and Grundy County. The City of Morris and Grundy County were initially excited to put into action a plan that started with former President Dr. Judy Mitchell. She had built all the relationships and laid the groundwork with the help of a grant from Senator Sue Resin to the City of Morris for the expansion of the existing hangar. JJC was to add aviation to its courses and become a feeder school to Lewis University, as well as take on all existing programs at the Grundy County Vocational Center. However, our newly hired president has decided it is a better choice of resources to drain our reserves to build a new building that, in the opinion of the Morris and Grundy County expansion team, risks laying dormant and unused, just as the Romeoville campus does. As I had read in the email earlier, sent to all trustees from the City of Morris, Mayor of Morris, Morris Hospital and Health Center, and the entire County of Grundy, including Grundy County Vocational Center, Grundy County Economic Development Council, and Grundy County Chamber of Commerce and Industry, removing their support of JJC's westward expansion. In addition to what I said in public comment, it is evident that the City of Morris and Grundy County have lost faith in our administrators, our administrative leadership, and their ability to listen to recommendations and make decisions in the best interest of our college, our community, and its partners. As one of 7 trustees, I too have lost faith in our president. And for those reasons, as well as all of the reasons that Maureen has already stated, for him to say that we are rich, no, we built up those reserves for if there is ever a situation like when we had Rauner, that we don't have to raise tuition, where we don't have a budget for 3 years and we can't depend on state funding, that we will have that at reserves to fall back on, so we don't have to raise tuition or raise taxes. We are a financially responsible school and have been for over 50 years, and saying that we are rich and wanting to blow through all of our reserves is very irresponsible. And it is not just myself or Maureen, but the entire City of Morris and the entire County of Grundy that does not agree with the decisions and does not believe that Dr. Namuo has the ability to listen. And although our chair and the executive committee will just willingly go along with whatever Dr. Namuo says, there is no transparency. I need my constituents to know, look into what Maureen is saying. This man is going to be we are a junior college, and he will be one of the top paid people in Joliet. We are a junior college to the students that we serve. We are serving those who are a majority on medical card, on link card, and on government assistance. But yet, look at the salary that the president, who thinks we're rich, is asking for, and what these trustees are going to vote for tonight.
I'll have a public comment, or not a public comment, but a comment as a trustee.
Sure.
So I was listening to some of the discussion that was going on previously. I find it interesting that a lot of times the specifics around the particularities of what's being said isn't entirely accurate, so to speak. So something that Trustee Lee said is that Lewis was going to be a feeder school. I go to Lewis, and a lot of the kids that go to Lewis are from JJC. That's an either or statement. That's just simply not true.
aviation, sweetie.
It's simply
For
not
aviation.
true. It's not true. The second thing.
As a reminder, no cross-talking.
Thank you. That's simply not true. Another thing I'd like to bring up is that somehow you took a quote from the president and blown it into proportion to say blow through all of the funds. This was not said. This is an addition. This is something that is constructed. That's not factual. That's not what was said at all. I'd like to just point that out because there's a lot of places in these discussions I would recommend the public to look into this. Just re-listen to the tape. There's a lot of places that it's not entirely accurate, where you kind of slip by rhetorically and what's being said isn't actually what is being meant. So I'm in full support of this because, quite frankly, in the days that I've been able to look through this, the time that I've spent looking through this, it is a very pretty clear and cut contract, and I'm more than happy to support it. I just hope that other trustees are able to look into that information with the same level of respect that other trustees on the board can. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Does the board have any other discussion?
I would like to ask the president and the chair to invite maybe, the Grundy County expansion team to talk in front of the entire public. And then we'll see what's true and what's not true about being a feeder school for Lunas University, for the hangar and the grant and everything that I said. Since you would like to say that I'm speaking untruthfully, I'd like you to check your facts. And how about we invite the expansion committee to speak in front of all of the public on everything that they feel? Why haven't they been invited to speak and tell us what's going on if everything I'm saying is untrue?
They don't need an invitation. They know when our meetings are, and they are welcome to come whenever they like. And the
They have
salary,
asked for an
no
audience and
cross
have been
talking.
refused.
Please respect me as I'm speaking now. The salary we're paying Dr. Namuo is a very fair salary. It's very justified. He has a higher level of education, lots of experience, and he's already proven his skills and abilities. Okay, if other people want to make that salary, they can go back to school, get a PhD, and apply for a presidential job.
My concern is that we did not get this 48 hours before, like we should have had the material to review so that we could have seen who the candidate was. That's where my concern falls, as I mentioned, in regards to this situation. We should have not been green sheeted. We should have had the information in our board book.
We hire only one person, and that's our president. This is a vice president of student development, therefore his staff, it's their job, that's operations. We don't need to have that within 48 hours, so we are in compliance.
I would just like to state, as with Dr. Judy Mitchell, we were given 3 candidates for every single position and able to look over those qualifications and decide as a board which one is what is going on with this president is he continuously only gives us one recommendation. We do not get to see the qualifications for the other 3 candidates, and therefore will be voting no, because I would like to see the other candidates and I would like to see their credentials versus the person that was chosen, and I feel that we deserve to see those things. No transparency at all with this administration.
Judy Mitchell did the same thing when we hired a chief
already
of police officer, okay? So we are fully transparent, and that's getting into the weeds. We need to know what our role is, okay?
Right. Whenever anybody has a question but you, then we need to know our role.
Be quiet.
Any other comments from other trustees?
The reason I'm asking is I understand that there's 2 candidates that were eligible. So I think as all board members, we should see all of the qualifications of both of those 2 people that the employees got to see, since we're the ones that are voting on it.
My recommendation to hire Brandon Campbell tonight was based on the following. We had a very extensive process with GovHR. We had over 90 candidates. We did have extensive interviews with open forums that were conducted with the employees as well as the students. I believe that my recommendation tonight is the best qualified candidate to meet the needs of the institution, of what we're looking at for today and how we grow in the future.
So for that reason, I agree with Trustee Broderick that we sometimes need to get a little bit more before we make that final decision. If we need to call another meeting next Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, then call it and we won't delay it any longer. I mean, there's a solution to things. We don't have to drown in a glass of water here.
Representative to the ICCTA and the ACCT, Diane Harris.
How did that change? Because under 01.27.00, your ability is to appoint, not to remove. So Michelle is still the ICCTA rep until April of next year.
No, she's not. Michelle
she
has
is.
not been showing up at the NA meetings. She's walked out of 8 meetings here in a row. She doesn't attend. She doesn't communicate with anyone. I need someone that's going
That
to go
is
and
so not
represent.
true. You have not responded to my text messages and me requesting to have a different day for the policy committee. And when have I not showed up to the ICCTA meetings? I have showed up to all of them. Besides,
Again,
I was
The chair has the right to appoint to the
No, it
committee.
doesn't. Show me the policy.
Appoint,
Show
not-
me
not to
policy.
remove.
Because you don't. It says to appoint, not to remove. So she's still on the policy.
No, she's
and
not.
she's still the ICCTA.
This is
Jim,
retaliation
yes, you
because
disregard
I don't agree with
policy.
you.
It's only when it's
You're
in your
cross-speaking.
favor.
You guys are cross-speaking.
Sorry.
But
Stop.
Diana's
Attorney
not
Holtman,
It's not
It
retaliation.
is
You don't show us
retaliation because
anything.
you don't agree. How do I
Point
not
of
show up for
order.
anything? Just
I've asked
because I
Diane.
leave the closed session,
Is this called
because I won't be
retaliation?
harassed by
Is this
you, does not
retaliation?
mean I have I have a doctor that says that I don't have to because of the harassment that I have received. I am literally shaking from all of you, and you know it. So no, I show up. up. Just because I leave, I have every right to leave. I do not have to
How
stay
many
to be
policy
harassed.
meetings have we had to cancel because of you?
How many have we had to cancel because of Garcia? Again, I requested a different day and time because my child's school schedule changed. And last year, that wasn't a problem. Jim?
If we can get back to
And
the.
you had a
to the
new
agenda,
Diane.
Stop.
Can we get back to the agenda?
Not to mention that Diane Harris has said that she has said that
appointed
multiple
chair, so-
times that she does not have time for this because she's running for another office, and if she wins, we'll have to step down. But she's being put on all of these committees along with our student trustee
It's just
in
further shows
retaliation because
retaliation.
Maureen and I do not agree with what they're doing at this school. And we have we are elected for a
Point of
reason.
order,
If
please.
we have
We
something.
need to stay on the agenda.
Okay, that's fine. I'll say it under trustee updates. Let's keep moving.
Well, first of all, as you know, we were in Springfield on the 13th.
Was I there, Diane?
I didn't see you come to the meetings. I saw you there.
But I was there. So even though if I wasn't,
Let her give the report, please.
Just to say that I was there.
Somehow she's all prepared for it.
All right, so anyway, this report will be provided as a result of.
Spare me all you want.
in Springfield, and I'm happy.
Trustee Lee.
You know, it's interesting that we say communication is key, and yet the reason why I am being chastised by this board is because I brought to the board's attention and were called for a special meeting because of the lack of transparency and the lack of communication from our council and our president about pertinent legal issues and about removing the term men and women from scholarships, which I think is a big deal, removing the term men and women and making everything gender neutral. Because there is such a thing as a man and there is a woman. And regardless to if you are a they, them, and you are prefer to be called by different pronouns, there still is the fact that there is a man and there is a woman, and you should be able to be proud to be a man and you should be able to be proud to be a woman. And so for all of my constituents that, you know, maybe the majority of the board doesn't agree with me and maybe some students don't either, there are people who elected me who do agree with me, and I'm here to stand up for them even if they won't come and make a public comment.
Is this an update or are you yelling at me?
I'm not yelling at you. I'm speaking to everyone in the room.
It doesn't seem like it.
I'm sorry, Trustee Queenie.
Thank you.
I apologize.
And
If you're speaking to everyone in the room, I am proud to be a student and a person, and I don't care what gender pronouns are referred to me as long as my voice is heard and represented fairly amongst the students. The board, as I see it,
This is not public comment. I'm sorry. You can come back next week. This is my trustee update. So can I have my time back that she just took from me? Thank you. You can come back next week, sweetie. Well, then you can give her your trustee update. And as a matter of fact, that's public comment, and she shouldn't be able to speak unless it's public comment because that's not per Robert Rules of Order. But see, when you guys want people to speak, see, God forbid a woman stand up and say, I am proud to be a woman. So then why are we taking away the term men and women? And why is it that I am not allowed to fight for that and say that?
Point of order.
Point of order.
You guys can all I know that the president had you all and that Queenie told you all to come here to harass me. Oh, was that not what the student government wasn't about? This is all to gang up on me for standing up for women.
Okay, Michelle, thank you. For Dr. Namuo. The extension not only represents great faith in Dr. Namuo's leadership, but also demonstrates our confidence in his continued success and the progress of Joliet Junior College under his guidance. We met with some community stakeholders that showed up tonight, Jen Howard, Mayor Darcy. We know that the key stakeholders in the community, we have a couple open positions on the campus. One is the Vice President of Student Development that we voted on tonight also. We continue as a voice vote, please.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.